Here's challenge number 2, is rebuilding trust as the foundation of ownership. And so the challenge is that most organizations treat accountability, not most of them, a lot of them, as enforcement. So true accountability grows from trust and psychological safety. When people believe that their voices matter and that they're heard, the mistakes aren't weaponized. So it's just the opportunity to look and see, to move from compliance versus commitment. Sometimes some employees perform out of fear of reprimand and really not a sense of ownership or pride. This is another one of these topics we've been talking about. Or broken feedback loops. There's that communication. Leaders avoid tough conversations. They're assuming the silence preserves harmony, but that silence breeds disengagement and disconnection. And so it's, again, that goes to the continuous communication or low cross-functioning trust. So when departments operate in silos, just defending themselves, so like, this is what I do, it's their problem, it's their fault, rather than aligning in the shared outcomes. So some possible action steps is what we're calling it the trust dividend playbook. The challenge that it solves is really low touch trust and high fear. It's really equipping leaders to practice these micro moments, trust building micro moments. So something as simple as rapid feedback conversations. That's the part as we teach as a foundational skill with all the teams we work with is our conscious communication activity, where people truly learn to listen to what somebody has to say and to witness them. I see you, I hear you, and not just I judge you or you're wrong, I'm right, et cetera, just some of those basic skills. And actually showing visible follow through on your promises within 48 hours. So it's about walking your talk. It really makes a difference. And also introducing trust metrics. And that's part of tracking how everybody feels about the trust, how they feel about engagement, how they feel about psychological safety. Do they feel that they can share what's actually happening with them without being criticized? So trust really accelerates performance. And so you can't enforce accountability in a low trust environment. You can enforce compliance and then reinforce that trust equals speed. So, and this really means is that the higher trust level, if you're working with the team that you trust, they trust you, things can happen quicker. There's not this extra time to be able to follow up to make sure that they did what they were supposed to be doing. Now, the communication still needs to happen, but that's an aspect of just knowing that things can actually move quicker. So there's fewer like control systems that have to be in there if you're not trusting your team. I worked with a team this past year who the entire team was in an area that was really visible. And there were a couple of difficult employees that just were so toxic and they were spreading negativity everywhere. So the trust building, the trust was actually diminished. In fact, I did a survey in the very beginning, to ask about trust, ask about communication. And the first person that answered it, just telling you what it said, I believe he called the 2 leaders that ran the department. I can't remember the words. Victoria, you might remember this one. It was idiots or imbeciles or something along those lines. It was just so nasty. And because no one's name was, I knew who actually said it, but it was just like, okay, that was just a snapshot of the team I'm going to be working with. And by the end of the engagement, I would say that most of the team really understood. And those difficult employees, because there was one troublemaker, he just gathered a lot of folks because they're on a contract basis. He didn't get his contract renewed. So it was interesting how things changed. Sometimes you just have to wait it out.